Hey, how's it going, guys? Just want to make sure the mic is working. Let me open up the Twitch stream here. We're now on a different PC. Working. All right, very cool. So it looks like we've got 17 so far, guys. We're going to be getting started in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, we will, of course, hang out and feel free to play as much roulette as you want. Cool. Thank you, guys. Now, I am going to just be taking a look here at Mare Nostrvm, so you might hear the music in the background. Probably going to play a historical battle today like we did before, but who knows? Maybe if we can get a multiplayer game going, we can test that out. The problem is with a multiplayer game with Mare Nostrvm is, of course, we've got to wait for the other person to finish their turn, and that could be a little frustrating. So we'll probably stick to historical, and maybe we'll go for the colonial wars today. We've been doing a lot of games against the Persians, so maybe it's time for something different. See you guys in about 8 minutes. That was an extremely good play there, Brooding Phobos, I should say. I think we're going to be able to use those lists pretty soon. Guys, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. Okay, guys, we're going to be getting started here. So, we've got, of course, Mare Nostrvm going on today, and we've got several different wars that we could focus on. The Roman civil wars, I must say, look really, really interesting, especially since Actium is where Agrippa actually gained a lot of fame. So I think that would be a pretty cool battle to get to. We've also got the pirate cleansing. We tried this last time as the pirates, and it was extremely hard. And of course, the Second Punic War, the First Punic War, the War of the Diadochi, and the Peloponnesian War. I think today we're going to be starting with the Peloponnesian War. So in this particular war, we can play as Athens or as Sparta. And let's go ahead and just take a look here. So I just want to take a look and make sure we can play as both. Yeah, we definitely can. So, should we play as Athens or Sparta? Now, before you answer that question, I know everybody's probably thinking, like, Sparta, Sparta. But if you really think about it, okay, the Athenians are the fathers of modern democracy, and the Spartans are, it's not exactly the most fun, place to live. So we're going to see who do we want to play as, Athens or Sparta, and let's see what you guys answer. I think we'll go for the first one that gets to 3. So either Athens or Sparta for the Let's Play. Let's see. Now, of course, we'll play just this one battle with Athens or Sparta. Then we'll either continue this campaign or we'll switch to another campaign. So Zach is saying Athens. I agree with Zach. I want to try Athens. Bostava is saying Athens. Vile is saying Sparta. We need a tiebreaker here. Either 2 more for Sparta or 1 more for Athens. And Athens. Nice. I agree with you guys. So there we go. We are going to jump in as Athens and try and stop these Spartans. There's a lot of information, misconceptions about the Spartans, that we hear in modern film and things like that. Even, like the movie 300, for instance. The truth is, the Spartans lost just as many wars as they won, and they weren't these magnificent warriors that we hear about. Sure, they had some excellent phalanx formations. They had a very militaristic society, and I'm sure that helped them to win some wars. But overall, they were no Alexander the Great, let's say. They were no Macedonians, really. Not exactly the greatest, in my opinion. But that's just me, of course. You guys can have differing opinions. I definitely would have preferred to have been a citizen of Athens. Unless, of course, I was some sort of Spartan king, in which case maybe I could accept that rough lifestyle. But there's a reason they call it a Spartan lifestyle. It's not easy. Let's take a look here. So the Spartans don't have many men on their ships. They're also not moving very fast, which is interesting. So I don't think they can win this just in terms of numbers alone. We probably have slightly more numbers on our ships. Then again, we've got a lot of these Athenian triremes, which are pretty economical in the sense that they don't cost a lot to make, but they also can't carry a lot of men. See, we've got basically 10 men on each ship. They've got 20 men on these ships. That's definitely scary. So actually, neither of us have too many men on our ships to defeat the enemy. And look at this formation. It's kind of like a V formation, the enemy charging us. I think what I'm going to try to do is hit their flanks. So I might actually go ahead here and try to just basically get on the ship. With this guy, I'm going to try to ram. And I don't think for a second this will work, but we'll try. This guy, I'm just going to move him up a little bit. We'll have these guys ram, but we're really just trying to get them up to the next tile. These guys right here, we're going to have them grapple. Hopefully they can grapple onto the enemy. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same with this side right here. Let's actually, with these units, I kind of want to try to ram, but yeah, we've got to try to ram. We don't have a choice. And the reason being, the enemy is basically has more units. They're a bit stronger than we are in terms of actual fighting power. We're going to have to try and go for the ram. And I'm going to do this very carefully, so this left side is not going to see nearly as much action as the right side. See how this goes. Let's take a look. Yes, absolutely. Vile says crap navy compared to Athens. That's not entirely true. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Probably a much smaller navy, without a doubt. Laird Shindle says, I believe what Hollywood tells me. A king is elected, I think, says Robert Shum. Possibly. I believe whatever the girlfriend tells me as I'm smart, says Zach Blood. Yeah, that'll work out for you. Let's keep going here. And once again, I'm going to just try to move a few of these guys over. Now, yes, this is going to stress the guys out. They're going to be tired. But I think we need to move forward, and we need to try and hit these Spartans quickly. With this unit, I'm just going to slowly move up. So here we go. Let's see if we can't turn their formation on them and try to use basically the same formation against them. As you can see, this commander's staying back. We don't want him getting involved in this fight, at least not yet. And we're only sending forward a few ships on this right side. On the left side, we're being a lot more proficient, a lot more efficient, and we're trying to send in a bunch of ships to stop the enemy. But here we're grappling, of course, and I think the Spartans are probably going to win in any sort of grappling type fight. So we're going to have to be very careful here. Oh, they actually went right by each other. Let's see if either of them managed to rake oars. No, both oars are actually fine. All right, we've grappled onto one. Unfortunately, we could not grapple onto that other one. And as you can see, these Spartans are on this ship with 19 men. We've got 18 men on this ship. This is going to be a very close fight. We're definitely going to need some assistance from our archers. Okay, let's see what's happened here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So we did manage to knock one of the Spartan ships over. In fact, one of the cool things about this game is we can rewind here. So let's take a look and see that happen, because I do want to see that ship getting knocked over. Let's see how we did on the right side. I think that's a huge bonus for a game like this, because you don't always get to see everything happening on the map at once. Sometimes you want to go back and see how something occurred, and we get the perfect opportunity to do that here. So let's see. Come on. You can do it, Ben. For democracy. Well, for Greek democracy, which in this case is basically wealthy people voting. But hey, closest thing to democracy you'd have at this time period. Here we go. Oh. And where did we get that cripple? I want to see. Oh, I think it's going to happen possibly here. Nope. Fortunately, they crippled a lot of our ships as well. Oh, there we go. Wow, so that was unexpected. Very unexpected. So we managed to foul them right there at the last second. It was just this ship that we didn't really actually pay much attention to, and they managed to do a great job. So now I'm going to take the rest of these guys, and I'm going to try to ram the rest of the enemy ships. I don't know if it's going to work, but you don't know until you try, right? So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to keep the leadership behind, and I'm just going to be moving these guys forward as best I can. Not everybody's moving forward. This guy, of course, is going to be extremely tired by the end of this fight. And we can keep grappling as well. Let's try to grapple onto one of those ships, and we'll bring these guys up too. Yeah, not a lot of people today, says Muso. It's not too bad. Mine says 27. I'm sure you guys have different ones. Someone had 30. And again, guys, the best thing to do if you're unsure of whether or not you want to watch our stream, let us know what you want to see. You know, I've said that before. Even on our YouTube channel, we'd love to hear what you guys want to see, and then we'll stream that. So if there's a game that we're streaming that isn't particularly popular, you know, we have to learn from that and improve next time, of course. Let's go here. Boom. Just going to try to grapple on right now. And this guy I'm bringing over, but just to provide support to our guys on these ships. It's really the only reason I'm bringing this guy over. Here we go. Come on, boys. Oh, we might be able to get this guy. He's tired, but since he's tired, he actually might hit us. That would be frustrating. Oh, look at that, guys. They managed to knock down one of our ships. They knocked down another one right there. We're not the only ones getting successful rams. Oh, man, and just look at this guy getting... Basically, it's almost like a drive-by shooting happening right here. He's just getting hit so much. I would expect our guys on this tile to be able to fire, and they are firing, as you can see, but there doesn't seem to be much firing going on. So what I might do is grab this ship and just basically go ahead and drift by the enemy ship. So we know that we're targeting him, of course. With this guy, I'm going to turn him this way. I'm not going to actually move him at all. I'm just turning him in the right direction. And with this guy... Let's see if we can't destroy this crippled enemy ship. We're going to do the same with this guy as well. I don't want to cripple our own ship, but I don't think that'll happen. Let's hope not. All right, we're going full speed ahead here. And let's see. So they also got us here. I've got to say, it's not looking too good for the Athenians. We've been doing pretty well with Mare Nostrvm so far, but in this battle, I definitely fear defeat. The fact is, the Athenians just have more guys on their ships. That's definitely a problem. So to beat them, we're going to have to, knock them over. I think ramming is going to be the key to victory here. If it's even possible. Let's do this. And we're not actually going for a ram. We're just trying to get close to the enemy ship here. I might do the same with my commander. Just try to get close to the enemy ship so that we could fire at it and hopefully increase our chances of a victory. And bring this guy forward as well. We'll go for the ram here. And we shall end the turn. Come on, give us that ram. There we go, here we go. We might get one right here. And yes, but we got fouled on the enemy ship. So it was a really nice ram. Unfortunately, getting fouled on the enemy ship was not part of the plan. There we go, another Spartan ship down. I don't think Spartans are very good swimmers. I've heard that, at least. Don't ask me where. But look at that. So we're getting some really great shots here on this guy. Unfortunately, look at this. Ooh, wow. We're very lucky to have withstood that. Luckily, that ship is doing okay right now, but that was a nasty hit. And actually now the difference is a lot more even. So we're both it's a very even battle right now. Byron says, I think the Athenians should aim for rams. A war of attrition is not to their advantage. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I agree with you. I think that to win as the Athenians in this battle, we've got to focus on the ramming. We're not going to beat the Spartans in terms of combat. That's clear. It's not just because the Spartans are better warriors, which I don't believe to be the case anyway, but it's because they have more men. It's that simple. Let's take a look here. We've still got quite a lot of ships here. So let's start bringing them back. They're not doing us much good here. And look at that. Ooh, I didn't see this one. This guy is rammed. He just actually captured one of our ships, and we managed to knock him over. So quite a few rams here for us. 1, 2, 3 that I can see so far. We had that one earlier, of course. This is interesting. The problem is, of course, like over here, for instance, the enemy's definitely going to beat us. We're going to have to somehow win using numbers, and the same goes for a lot of our units that are currently, let's just say, not in the best situation in the world. All right, let's see if this works. Come on, boys. Look at that, grappling on board. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat them, especially since the Spartans seem to be able to beat us better in close combat, but we are delivering a lot of missiles here. So even if we don't take the ship out, I'm confident that we can at least lower the amount of units it's got on board and eventually take it out. And look at that. Enemy actually managed to ram another one of our ships here. I told you they were going to win on this front. I was pretty certain about that, and sure enough, they're doing a good job. They tried to get a ram there, but they just managed to kind of surprise us. Let's see if we can do this. That seems to maybe work. I'm really tempted to do this. Now, one thing that upsets me, and this is part of the game and makes complete sense from a naval standpoint. Basically, this is how it works. if we turn, right, like, so let's say we take this ship right here, and we actually turn. We can't ram, because, you know, we're taking all that energy to turn. So basically, if we go like this, we're not going to be able to ram for at least one turn. That puts us at a bit of a disadvantage. So what I've been doing recently is I've been turning and not moving. So basically just turning, anchors in the water. The only thing you're doing is just turning your ship around. You're not moving anywhere, really. You're just changing your positioning. And we might need to do that on a big scale to be able to beat the Spartans at this point. So I'm not sure if it's going to be possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Nope. Once again, we got to go for that turn. That's going to be quite important. So we'll just keep going forward. We've actually got some pretty healthy units right here. I'm going to try and have them move over here to assist our other units, but I fear that eventually here they're going to be out of the commander's line of sight, and obviously things are going to go pretty poorly for them. So, in fact, it might be better to bring these guys back around. I know we had plans, but those plans have just gone out the window, and try to get these guys basically a bit closer to the Spartans over here and try to do some damage. Over here, we seem to be okay. We're not, I wouldn't say we're winning, but we've definitely done a lot of damage to the Spartan enemy. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see. Looking cool. Wow. Yeah, these Spartans are getting tougher by the second. They managed to actually get this ship right here. They are fouled up on it, and it's a commanding ship, which makes me happy. Also, I'm just taking a look here. Pixel says the Athenian owl is neat. He seems to like that one. I can't blame you. It looks pretty cool. It really does. Cable Next Pirate says, I find it interesting because there's a healthy mix of offense and defensive missions plus a limited roster, so it's easier to focus on tactics rather than worry about army composition. I'm pretty sure you guys are talking about order of battle, am I right? Yeah, I could have figured that. And absolutely, we each have our favorites. I'm personally more of a Panzer Corps guy, but I love both, and I think order of battle is, in my opinion, I could be wrong, it's probably more appealing to a younger generation. I'm not saying it's easy because it certainly isn't, but it's more appealing to a younger generation because visually speaking, it's a little more advanced, things like that. For me, I've always played Panzer Corps. You know, I grew up on games like Panzer General, so it's really more of a nostalgia thing than anything. The reason I prefer Panzer Corps, it's not because I think it's a better game or anything like that. I just, what can I say? I prefer it. Let's see. You know, it reminds me of that time as a kid when I would actually wake up excited to play games. Here we go. Now it's like, oh, it's my job. My goodness. Here we go. Once again, we're going to move forward a bit. Okay, let's see. Want to make sure we can try and get all of the rams. So one of the things is we've got a ship here. Unfortunately, we were, of course, waiting for that Spartan ship to sink before we can move. We could also back out with him. I'm trying not to back out, so I'm going to try to just keep pushing it and hope this works. Eventually, that ship is going to have to sink. Well, not necessarily. Some of the ships do not sink. They stick around till the end of the match, so you got to keep that in mind. I'm not sure if the creators are here. It would be great if they were, because what I want to know, actually, is whether or not, or what's the maximum amount of time, I guess, that a ship will stay afloat. Because as you guys know, the ships staying afloat, they create a sort of debris that affects you. So if you've got a bunch of ships, in your way, in your path, you can't really move as effectively as if there were no ships there. That's always something to consider. Here we go. Come on, boys, row faster. None of you will get your pay if you can't outrow these Spartan dogs. Come on, boys. No, I think unfortunately they're not going to be able to make it. Oh, wait a minute. No, wow. Really nice turn there by the Spartans, and actually they might be able to ram us right now. Oh yeah, we're going down. That ship is huge. Spartan deck trimem. Oh, I called that one. There was no way we were escaping that. Man, talk about a major hit. I think just the impact alone from that probably killed all the crew. I mean, that was just absolutely vicious. Once again, just turning, not moving. We will consider moving if this guy continues forward, because then we can get a nice side ram. Otherwise, we're going to let that guy do what he wants. And once again, the score is pretty even here. I still think the Spartans have this one. If we back out, you can actually see a better view from up here. This is just basically zoomed out all the way, and you can see that we have more ships on the water, but a lot of our ships are cut off, not to mention a lot of our ships have no crew on them, or very little crew. As you can imagine, that's going to affect your gameplay, without a doubt. This guy's cut off right here, but once again, we're going to try to go for these guys ahead of us. So I'm gonna guess, not a great guess, that this guy is going to make it here by the time I row past there. A lot has to happen for that to occur. Look at that, he's still down. But let's hope it works. Here we go, guys. No, I think he's definitely going to get away. There's only 15 Spartans on that trireme, so maybe if we could get one of these guys. Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. Can we get a ram? Can we get a ram? This would be an incredible ram if we were able to take out either of these ships, because they're actually both quite large. But actually, I think this guy's going to get closer to ramming us. Oh, how unlucky. How unlucky. He turned at the right direction right there. There goes one of these Spartan ships down to Davy Jones' locker. Probably the same happening over here to a lot of other ships, but that is unfortunate. I thought we were going to be the ones getting the ram. Turns out we're the ones getting rammed. That's no fun. Okay, let's take a look here at the chat. Interesting. So Yogic Fire is talking about a game called Centurion that had ship battles like this, which is interesting. No, it's not. It's not. Yogic Fire is asking if it's April Fool's Day. No, this is Mare Nostrvm by Turnopia, and essentially it's an ancient naval combat game. Sort of, it's actually the same guys that made Quadriga. I'm not sure if you played that. Now, this guy's crippled. I'm going to go for the ram here. Oh, yeah. I think we can get this one. As for this, we can't necessarily go for a ram, but we can get closer to the enemy ship. And even here, I don't think the ram would work, but we're going to try anyway. In fact, hold on. Let's try this. Here we go. Crippled and cut off. We should be able to knock him down. But I think what was said earlier is absolutely the case, that in this battle, the key is really, as the Athenians, is ramming the Spartans into submission. And look at that. How is he able to turn like that? He's cut off. No way. No! How did he do that? I want to know. I want to know how he did that. That was, I mean, this guy's cut off, you know, he's crippled. He shouldn't be able to move his horse. I guess he could turn around in circles, though. But for him to sort of expect that annoys me a little bit. Because that was, from what I can tell, a little unexpected. I could be wrong. Who knows? A lot of our ships here are crippled, unfortunately. Not much we could do about that. Yeah, not everybody can like it. Yogic Fire. It's like I said, you know, we serve a very niche audience. So some people like Mare Nostrvm. They like the naval combat in it. Some are not such big fans. But of course, you know, we take every opinion with a grain of salt, and we listen to you guys. Let's take a look here. One second, guys. Just going to take a 30-second intermission. Let's take a look here. To put it diplomatically, Yogic Fire said, I think full-on surgery is needed more than patches. Is what Yogic Fire is saying. And like I said, you know, we have differing opinions on our games. Some people are going to prefer a certain kind of game. Others are going to prefer another kind of game. The Mare Nostrvm thing that you're mentioning, Yogic, is interesting because of course, we have both schools of thought. We have some people that really love Mare Nostrvm. I mean, personally, I like playing it. You know, I like Ternopia's last game a lot, Quadriga. I thought it was excellent. But of course, I'd love to see a Quadriga 2. I might stop playing Mare Nostrvm if Quadriga 2 comes out, just because I really want some more gladiatorial combat or hippodromeorial combat. Which would be correct there? Here we go, guys. We might be able to get this ram. Come on, boys. Sinka. Oh, it didn't work. And I think the reason there is we're one tile away from that ship. So basically, we didn't get enough momentum to be able to actually put a hole in this ship. Also, I'm wondering, and this is something I'm really wondering, and that is, in this game, all of the ships when they get rammed, they fall on their side. So I wonder, is it the momentum of the ship striking the other ship that knocks it on its side, or is it like a puncture wound type situation where the one ship basically punctures beneath the waterline a hole in the enemy ship and then it sinks that way? I'm guessing both can occur, but I wonder which one is more likely, and more specifically, I wonder which one is the intention of the ship captain or commander himself. I really would like to know. So yeah, fighting against the Spartans here, we have definitely been beaten. You can see that we still barely are holding on. And we've rammed a lot of the enemy ships there, as you can see. We managed to ram 8, where the enemy has only rammed 1. But we've sunk 5 ships, the enemy sunk 4. That's obviously pretty even there. In terms of losses, manpower loss, now this is the scary part. We've lost 226. The Spartans have lost 62. So this game definitely takes a more Hollywood version of the Spartans, where they're these amazing warriors. When really they're pretty even, I would say, to the Athenians. But again, they did also outnumber us during this battle, so that also plays a role. But I would expect just a few more casualties on the Spartan side during this fight. All right, let's move forward. And over here, let's go around, try to grapple on here. Can we get anything? I don't think so, because we're only going to be ramming here. Oh, they got another one of our ships. That's going to be game. For sure. They definitely sunk us there. Oh, what's going to happen here? I think we're going to break our oars. Oh no, I wanted to ram into these guys. Now we're stuck in between them and they could just shoot us down like fish in a barrel. That was not a very good move. Now, we do have an enemy ship fouled up here. All we can hope for is by the end of the turn that this ship will sink and drag this one down with it. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we lose here. It's not an easy battle if you're playing as the Athenians. It's a bit easier if you're playing as the Spartans. You don't really have to do as much ramming. You need to basically circle your enemies, circle the wagons, as it were, and shoot your enemy down. Oh, there we go. One of the ships went down, and it's a major defeat. We haven't had a major defeat in a while. We've had some minor defeats, but that was major. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at another war. Now, on our last game, we won the Battle of Lod as the Ionians, and we actually beat the Persians. But I'm using a different account, so we have to replay that game if we want to do that. But we'll let you guys decide what wars you'd like us to play. So I'm just going through the wars right now. Select one, and we'll try to play some. We could also try, which is something we haven't tried yet, a skirmish. So we might do a skirmish. In fact, I think that's what we're going to try. So let's jump into skirmish here. Now, for my faction, I can take any number of different players. We could take Macedonia, we could take Rhodes, we could take Syria. This is a more advanced version of Rome. The forces of Julius Caesar, the forces of Pompey, Antonius. Antonius is one of Alexander's generals, essentially one of the Ptolemaic leaders. We've got Greece, we've got Persia, the Ionians, the Spartans, the Athenians, the Etrurians, the Syracusans, which I haven't played with yet, and the Antigonids. The Antigonids are once again another faction, another one of Alexander's generals' factions. Here we go with Tarentum, and we're back at Rome. Interesting, very interesting. So Wavel is saying that most Spartan sailors were, in effect, mercenaries recruited from other city-states. Later in the war, they were able to lure sailors from the Athenian fleet with extra pay. Many Athenian sailors often came from allied subject Greek states. That's really, really cool. And, you know, we've spoken before while playing this game about how the whole slavery thing is, for the most part, a complete fabrication. In other words, the guys that were rowing the ships, the guys that were beneath the deck, you know, rowing those oars, they were paid. And actually, they were often paid quite well in comparison to other sort of lower class folk. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so Fornoff from Ternopia says, yes, we copy Centurion naval battles pixel by pixel because no one remembers them. It was a great plan. The irony intensifies. Absolutely. That would be pretty difficult. I think in many ways, copying a game is much more difficult than actually just creating your own. So I think what we're going to try here, I'm going to try and take a faction I haven't played with yet. One of the factions I haven't played with yet is Syria. I also haven't played with Pompey's faction or Antonius, excuse me. I think what I'm going to do is actually go back to the campaign map. I think we will set up maybe a skirmish game for the next Let's Play. I can't get enough of these historical games. So I think I'm going to try the first one, Alalia. Now, just because this is the first one doesn't necessarily mean it's the easiest one. We are going to be playing as Carthage and Etruria against the Greeks. Now, if we lose this battle, I deserve all the hate coming to me because the enemy, we definitely outnumber the enemy. That's number one. Now, in my defense, and we'll have to wait and see. In my defense, I do believe the enemy have more men on their ships. Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to take a closer look there. About even, actually. Pretty much even. Yeah, I would say pretty much even. So the only thing we have is more ships. We're going to have to just move up, try and take the initiative here and beat the enemy. I'm just going to move in the green zone so none of our guys get too fatigued. And we shall commence. What's worrying me is when you see only that many ships, it starts to make you wonder, like, if they're not relying on numbers, what are they relying on? Like, we undoubtedly have more ships than them, but these guys, they have two massive ships here. Remember, this is the first campaign. So this ship actually has a general named Kallias that's actually leading it, and it's a Greek trireme. All we have are pentaconters. Pentaconters are quite small, quite skinny ships. So we need to try and get these Greek triremes. I'm not sure we're going to be able to. So I think the goal is going to be to knock down the Greek pentacounters and basically ignore the enemy leadership units. Because I'm pretty sure if we can wipe out all of their supporting ships, they're going to have to give up anyway. And even if we wipe out all their supporting ships and they haven't given up, we can basically just circle the wagons until we kill them. And when I'm using the term circle the wagons, that's really more of a term for like old cowboy movies. What I mean by circle the wagons is basically to take our ships and essentially just go around in circles around the enemy, continue firing, and then, of course, leave once everybody's dead. I've actually used that particular strategy to win a number of games. So you don't always go for ramming. You don't always go even for boarding. Sometimes you just want to shoot them down. Here we go. Love how the calm before the storm. It's all calm now. All you hear is just kind of the drums. But just imagine like how the guys in the ship must have felt. Like the guys that are rowing, the guys that are on deck looking out. Just imagine how they must have felt as they were approaching this target. It must have been terrifying. You know you're in for a protracted battle, and you essentially know that whichever side wins, the prisoners of the other side are either not going to survive or going to be treated very poorly. In fact, I'm not even sure. Maybe the folks here at Turnopia can tell us. I'm not even really sure what would be done with prisoners in a naval battle at this time period. I think there's a possibility they would just be outright killed because there wouldn't be much room for them on your ship, number one. The one saving grace is a lot of these battles took place near land. So, maybe if you knew how to swim, which many probably didn't know how to swim, but if you knew how to swim, maybe there was a chance you could actually save yourself by swimming to land. But I just wonder what would happen to a surrendered crew in this day and age, or not in this day and age, in the day and age we're looking at right now, if that makes more sense. So here we go. We are going for major ramming attacks on the enemy here. For this to work, of course, they're going to have to take the bait, and they might not. So this might be a miserable failure, but we're going to try anyway. So let's do that. I'm going to keep these guys back. I'm not moving them at all. Here we go, guys. Oh, you guys can hear that those drums are getting louder now. They are getting a lot louder the closer we get to the enemy. And here we go. So, of course, this is the most dangerous ship right now in the enemy fleet. And, wow, it's actually still managing to rake oars. I think there should be a possibility for a ship that big hitting a ship like this head on to just crush that ship. That should definitely be a possibility. You can see right now they're managing to cripple a lot of our ships here, the enemy. And a crippled ship, for those of you that are new, basically means that the oars are on one or both sides have been destroyed. So this ship can no longer move. Now they can move in a 360-degree angle in their hex, but they can't continue forward. Basically, those guys are stuck there. And the fact that our commander is stuck there is definitely something that I'm not happy about. Now, we didn't really see what went on over here. It doesn't seem that we had any actual wrecks and nothing like that. No sunken ships. So we can feel pretty safe in that aspect. And we've also managed to cripple a lot of these Greek ships here. Yogi Fire says, I've been watching too much Gordon Ramsay. I mean, of course, Yogic, we always like feedback from our customers. So if you'd like, we can absolutely, if you'd like to send us an email, something like this, with, your opinions, your feedback, we'd take it. I'd obviously probably forward it here to Fornost from Turnopia to take a look at. And I'm sure, that we all like to hear from our customers and sort of get the feedback and, learn to improve games, etc. Let's get back to the fight. So I like to see that we have managed to pretty much cripple these guys. But you got this massive ship over here approaching, and that doesn't make me feel safe at all. So I am going to try to turn around and knock these guys in the water. As you can see, one of the ships here that's crippled is actually our ship. So let's be careful. We don't want to start attacking everybody. But I will try to board, and I'm going to try... No, wait a minute. Yeah, that's an enemy ship. I'm going to try to get a ram, but here the enemy might actually get a ram on us. So what I'm going to do is full speed ahead. Are we going to get anybody? Maybe, maybe not. We have crippled a few ships. That's a huge bonus. And now I'm going to turn this ship around. And this is definitely a strategy that I've just recently learned, which is basically to not have to move your ship, but just to turn him around so that he can react faster. And of course, we got to wait for him to turn around, so that takes a turn, but I think it's worth it. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 and here we go. So you can see those guys already turning. Right now, that's really all they can do. Although we also have some superiority here in terms of our actual archers on our ships. We've got numerous archers attacking here. Wait a minute. What's going to happen? Let's see if we can get one ram in at least. Looks like they're trying to ram us, as a matter of fact. Please get stuck. Please get stuck. Okay, one of them is stuck. This makes a ram much more likely to this tired ship here. So we're going full speed ahead with the Etruscan Pentaconter. We just struck this ship, but he managed to stay up. He managed not to sink. So actually, good on him. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Oh, yeah, baby. We got first blood on the ram. Beautiful. Now, wouldn't it be hilarious if we managed to take out this Greek trireme with the Pentaconter? That would be not only hilarious, but really cool. And there we go. We rammed another ship up here with our Etruscan Pentaconter led by Zarakas. So Zarakas managed to knock down one of the enemies here. Now, I was trying to go for a ram here, and I'm not sure if we can. Oh, that's too bad. I really wanted to see if we could ram the enemy ship. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move this guy back, okay? I'm going to move this guy back a bit. Hold on a second. We're going to try to come in for the ram a second time. I mean, I know we can get it. I know we can get it. I don't think it's going to work because this ship weighs so much less than this one, and we don't even have a full crew. They've got 27 guys on that crew, but we've got to try. We've absolutely got to try. What's this? Look at this. Look at how the Greeks have gotten reorganized very, very quickly. That's a bit annoying. While our guys are still kind of up here just waiting. So first things first, we will go ahead and try and grapple onto this ship. For this ship, we're going to try to ram. But again, I'm not sure how well it's going to work because we're quite close. We'll try to ram with this guy as well. And this guy we're just going to turn around. Okay, wish us luck. I want to take a look at the right here. I think we're doing pretty well, actually. We're definitely ahead at the moment. Here we go. Back up, boys, back up. We need you for a very important mission. There we go, another ram. That was beautiful. So we're still getting them, guys. We're still getting beautiful hits here. And this crippled cut-off enemy unit has 5 guys on board. With the ship closest to them, we've got 10 guys on board. Now, it does look like they're going to rake oars, but all their oars on this side are crippled. So if I'm not mistaken, our oars should be fine. Again, I could be wrong. Thank you. Somebody said good job. Agrippa, I caught that on the Twitch, little Twitch chat here, but I'm going to, of course, take a look at everything you guys have to say here in a moment. I just want to end this turn. Oh boy, we got a lot of Greeks coming back. Look at this. They're coming back, guys, and they are looking for revenge, without a doubt. This ship might even manage to ram us. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Grappled. Beautiful. All right, let's do this. We're just going to try to basically board them. And with this guy, I'm going to try to ram this guy. I don't think it's necessary, but we'll try. Turning this guy around. We should have turned him around beforehand, honestly. Oh, we got some real fighting going on there. On board, at least. Thank you, Pixel. Okay, let's take a look here. So, what to do. I was feeling pretty confident one turn ago, but one thing I love about this game is your confidence levels drop pretty quickly, and in a good way. You know you're playing a challenging game. Over here, we managed to get another ram. We didn't spot that one. We've actually got some chunks of wood in the water here. And over here, we managed to knock down, or they managed to knock down one of our ships, which has been quite tough for them. I don't know if you guys remember the first stream we did of Mare Nostrvm, but we got one ram during the entire stream. One thing I love about our gameplay style right now, we're getting rams left and right. It's non-stop, and I love it. I think it's really cool. So here's what I'm going to do. My idea here is to go ultra fast and see if we can't ram the enemy this way. Is it going to work? Maybe, maybe not. But I want to see if it does. So we're going to go ahead and move like that. I'd love to move this guy forward just a little bit more. So let's try that. And then maybe he can provide some fire over here at the enemy. And I want to see if we can go ahead, turn this guy around. And just grapple on board the enemy here. Or try to grapple on board the enemy ship. These guys are not doing much. We're going to bring them down. And we're probably going to bring them to fight over here. So let's do that. You've got to be careful with the movement of your ships, because in certain ways, if you move in too similar a fashion over the same area of hexes, the timing is going to be such that your ships are going to end up getting stuck together. I often don't check for that stuff, but if I was a more careful player, I certainly would. Here we go. I think we're going to get rammed here easily. Oh yeah, definitely. Yup, that was an easy kill. Can we get this guy? Can we get this guy? Can we get Adamon? Come on! Oh, so close. I should have checked to see if the impact lowers the amount of men on board if we kill anybody through impact alone. We didn't manage to kill him, obviously, but we are, of course, now we've got 8 men on this side, 6 men on this side. Yeah, it's only 14 men total against 27, but at least we're lowering their numbers. And more importantly, we're keeping them occupied so they can't go around attacking our other ships. There we go. Sink Greek ships. These Greek ships take too long to sink. We're going towards victory. We want you to sink quickly and efficiently. Okay, those guys look like they're running away. Look at that. Those Greeks look like they're headed back for the mainland. Like, you know what? We've decided that we don't actually have any issue with you guys. You're all right. Let us escape. It's not going to happen, but I can understand their plight. Okay. For this guy, we're just going to turn him this way. He's going to be firing at the enemy. A lot of our units are crippled, unfortunately, so there's not too much we could do about that. I think we should try to focus on the right side here where we're doing very well. And just make this our focus. So, for instance, I'm going to move this guy over here, not to pursue any ships, just to keep firing at the enemy here. With our command ship, we're going to move him back so that next turn he can move a lot faster. We could also, of course, just turn him, but I prefer them moving back personally. We'll do that. That ship's crippled. He's not going anywhere. And let's see what happens. Hit him, boys. Hit him. Now that Greek Pentacontra looks like it could be a target. One thing, I'm not sure if anybody has noticed this. The way that you know... Oh, he went down. Our ship went down. The way that you know that you've hit an enemy on board the enemy ship, of course you could just move your mouse over it, and of course you're going to see a lot of information. But if you see this flash, you see the men on deck flash, that means one of them has been hit. And by the way, still nobody has answered my question, or I probably just missed it because I'm so focused on the game here. Does anybody know what would happen to prisoners in naval battles like this? Would they be spared? Would they be taken as slaves? What would happen in most cases? I just can't imagine being able to take a large number of prisoners in a naval battle, which is a scary thought. Oh. He's cut off. He's trying to make it back. And it looks like the enemy is returning. I thought they were running away. No, not at all. They're just preparing for another fight. Let's do this. Start moving forward with this guy. Do the same with this guy. Now, of course, they've sort of forced us to change our strategy, which that's what any good enemy is going to do. What any good rival or opponent is going to do is they're going to force you to acclimate to their strategy. That's the key to victory, essentially. So let's turn this guy around. I'm going to have him join this little fiasco as well, because I'd love to take out this enemy ship. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we've got to try. And these guys are tired. They're cut off, but they'll be back with their commander shortly. And hopefully, they'll be back with him shortly on this mortal plane and not in the afterlife. We need some creepy music sound effects. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Come on, boys. They managed to cripple our ship right there. Ooh, and this guy's coming in for what could be a very heavy ram. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I think he's gone. He's gone. Yep. Now, can we get a ram over here even though we're tired? Not quite, but we did grapple on board. We've got 10 guys here. They've got 10. It's really up to the fighting skill of our men. And right now, the arrows don't seem to be improving the fighting skill of our men. There we go. One down. Come on, men. Keep firing those arrows. Now, what I'm going to try to do, if I can, we'll have to see if I can, big if, is try and ram my command ship into their command ship. All right, that fight right there is very interesting. So, we've got 6 guys on board. They've got 8. I was hoping that the arrows would help us, but I don't think they're going to. I am still going to try to ram this command ship, so we're hoping that the enemy ship here will sink before we get there. Of course, that's a big if. And let's turn this guy around. Now, over here, we're making contact with the enemy. It looks like they've rolled over one of our ships. That is not good, of course. They're definitely making a nice little comeback here. Come on, come on. Oh, look at that. Nope, yep, I was worried about that. So we cannot make it past, unfortunately. And actually, we're still grappled onto this enemy ship, too. Looks like there's still 4 guys on board that Greek Pentaconter. Say what you will about the Greeks, but they definitely know how to stand their ground. There's no doubt about that. Oh, she's going down. She's going down. That was one of our ships, actually. Captured! Beautiful. Still got to deal with this guy, but that captured makes me feel pretty confident. So these guys are tired. Let's just leave them there this turn. We've got to wait for the enemy ship to sink anyway, and we're going to keep moving forward. We're still winning. We're still winning, but as you can see over here, the enemy managed to get some nice rams. 1, 2, 3 rams. So they're getting revenge for what we managed to do earlier. So we definitely have to be quick about this. That's absolutely the case. 3 rams. It's almost hard to believe. I'm just going to turn this guy. Turn this guy as well. And not much we can do on this particular side, but what we can do is we can back up. And we're going to back up like this. With this guy, we can actually kind of go around, maybe even try and capture one of the enemy ships. Now, keep in mind, anytime that you see your movement I don't even know what to call it, I guess your movement line here, turning red, that means you're putting your men at risk for getting tired. You're putting, your men at risk for getting exhausted. So you're taking a risk every time you do that. You are going to go faster, but you're taking a risk. Okay, here we go. Still 25 Greeks on that trireme, so wow. Oh, what was that? What was that? Definitely heard a ship sink. Maybe I'm going insane. Certainly a possibility. All right, so unfortunately, the Greeks did win the battle against our ship here. But I'm hoping that with the continuous missile fire, we're going to be able to take everybody off that boat and not have to worry about it. Your ship, your poor ship, says Pixel, indeed. Let's take a look here. So Muso's saying that he guesses the prisoners were probably used as slaves. And I think that's actually an interesting suggestion, very likely. But I think what we've certainly learned from playing this game and just research I've done because of this game is we know that the slaves couldn't be used as rowers. And I think there's any number of reasons for that. I think probably one of the biggest reasons is, number one, believe it or not, slaves don't make very good workers. They just don't. Nobody likes to work and not get paid. You know, that's just something. So slaves are always going to try to find a way to slack off on the job when the master's not around. Another issue is that if you've got a bunch of enemy slaves at the bottom of your ships, they could start a revolt. Even if you lock the ship, they could either start a revolt by not rowing at all, or they could try to break out and commandeer the ship themselves. But I think the idea of possibly having, like, you know, household slaves would make sense, or even, you know, if you're Romans, certainly throwing them in the gladiatorial arena would be a possibility. Okay. 1 second, guys. Not sure what just happened. We might have a little glitch. There we go. That was my fault. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so Wavell also agrees with these slaves. But I think for sure the slaves would be given very menial tasks, probably household tasks, so they weren't as much of a danger. I mean, obviously, a sailor is still a warrior, so you want to be very careful with how you use that particular skill set, let's say. Is it a skill? I think it's a skill set. Yeah, being a good fighter. All right, let's go ahead and try to ram this guy. We're not going to manage because we're not going fast enough to do it, but I'm still going to try. Now, these guys are tired, so I'm going to try something a little sneaky here. Here we go. Oh, I heard a ram. It was definitely that ship. Now, they're fouled up on our ship, but they absolutely got the ram without a doubt. And I don't think we're going to be able to bust this guy down. We basically took the commander's advice, and we're going a bit slower than usual on this ram. So I don't think it's going to be ramming speed, unless we get very, very, very lucky. Row, men, row! Oh, I thought for sure maybe we'd get lucky, but no. Also, I'm not sure if this is the case. I hope the guys from Ternopia are still here, because I think if you have one ship on this side of the enemy ship, you're not able to ram it. Obviously, it's not going to turn over that side because there's a ship on the other side. I could be wrong, but that might be the case. And that would, of course, make it a lot harder to ram the enemy. So here we go. You basically have to wait for the right moment. Trying to look for some smaller enemy ships because we're so close to getting a victory at this point. But there's, you know, we've killed almost all of these small enemy ships. They're here in the water near us, so we've got to find a different way. Let's see. If we can't ram them, then we must board them. Let's take this commander as well, and actually I'm going for the ram here. Now this guy I think we might be able to get, because he's actually stuck. No, look at that! The AI is quite good, because as soon as I turned there, the AI decided to go ahead and turn this way. There we go, one of the Greek ships going down. Goodbye, Greek ship, goodbye. It was nice knowing you. We'll see you later. Maybe in a few thousand years, somebody will create some submersible that can find you guys. Oh no, they're gonna get the ram on our commander. Okay, we managed to survive, but still, that was rough. That was definitely rough. So we've got to keep on moving here. Come on. So close to that victory that I can almost taste it. Oh, there's another poor little Greek ship going down. We're so sorry about that. We'll try to be more gentle in our next battle against the Greeks, but right now we are crushing them. No doubt about that. At least we're crushing most of their ships. You can see, look at that. They've got 1% left. Just 1% left. Let's take a look here. I think Wavell actually, that makes a lot of sense. Slaves would have been sold for profit or ransomed. And actually, that's really interesting. Now, don't play too safe. Now that you mention that, that makes sense. Because if you ransom slaves off to another culture, another society, another tribe, sure, the slaves are still not going to be happy at the fact they're slaves, but they're not necessarily going to have that need for revenge. So that might, make them a little easier to get along with. I get what you're saying. I think, that's a very, very interesting point. Yeah, that's certainly something I would subscribe to. That these slaves are essentially just sold off or maybe ransomed back, as he mentioned, to their original country of origin or their original empire. That definitely sounds like the most likely scenario. Let's see what we can do here. One, two, three. 1, 2. Here we go, boys. Oh boy, they hit it. I don't know how they managed to sink that ship. We're gonna have to watch that again. Hold on a second. We've got to watch that because I don't even get how they sunk it. Maybe somebody can explain to us how that occurred. Let's take a look. Well, we won. I mean, that's cool. Minor victory. I love it, but I still want to understand why our ship sank. So let's see. Perfectly still there, as you guys can see. Perfectly still, not moving. The enemy ship is right next to us. Yeah, that's weird. That's very weird. I wonder why that occurred, because they didn't get any sort of momentum strike. And primarily I want to know, because I want to do it myself. If you can, get ships to sink without even ramming them, we've got to find out how to do that. That's interesting. Okay. A little more confused than I was even initially. But nice, guys, a minor victory. Hey, I'll take a minor victory any day. That, for me, always makes me happy. And the miners are happy as well, which is just, that's the best part. That's the best part about it, is how happy the miners are. Let's go ahead and continue. Yeah, your ships appear to be more sinkable than most. Well, this one just withstood a hit from a Greek trireme, so I would say that's pretty cool. There you go right now. And manpower loss, 86 on our side, and 92 on the enemy side. Really nice there. Sorry, 92 on our side, 86 on the enemy side. We rammed 5 ships, they rammed 1. We actually watched that one get hit, so not bad. I like that. Nice little victory for us. And, of course, now we can move on to the Battle of Cumae. I don't know if it's Cumae or Cumae, but something like that. And Pixel says, quite rightly, no such thing as an unsinkable ship. That's absolutely the case, without a doubt. What I'm going to do here is take a look at Cumae, so that we get an idea. We're going to still play with our Arturians. We've come this far with them. Let's continue. And, of course, we'll keep moving forward. Now, we're about 7 minutes away, guys, from the end of our stream, give or take. So if anybody has any comments, any questions, etc., please feel free to ask them down below. We do appreciate the constructive criticism that people have given as well. You know, we love to hear your opinions, whether they're positive, negative, or in between. You know, that's the only way that we get better as a company. So you've got to make sure to let us know. I don't know, wording it a bit nicer would be good. But I know that when somebody feels a sort of passion for our company, which I know a lot of you guys do feel, you love the games we make, and you find a game you don't like, you want to speak out about it or try to improve it. We can totally understand that. Look at that. Beautiful navy. Feels like this time the Greeks are a little better equipped, and actually their ships look pretty nice. The amount of men on those ships is pretty significant, and definitely more men on their ships than we have on our ships for this battle. So they're going to try to probably board our ships and destroy us that way. I think for victory on this one, we would have to go for ramming, almost certainly. Especially look at these guys, man. Their ships could easily ram ours. All right, let's keep moving forward. Yeah, I think Audie puts it very well. No colorful metaphors. Yeah, I think that's extremely well put, especially considering what was said. And we love all you guys. You know, we love Yogic Fire. We understand. You know, you totally have the right to your opinion. But yeah, it's like telling. I'm trying to come up with a good analogy that we can say on stream without anybody getting upset. But you know, it's like if somebody paints a picture, your friend paints a picture, and you're not a fan of the picture, you're not a fan of the portrait. It's a lot better to just say, "Hey, buddy, you know, I think that." Yeah, well, one of two things. The number one sounds pretty harsh, but I think you'd be better off doing something else, which is number one. Or number two, this is how I think you can improve the picture. You know, that's really helpful. If you just say, man, your picture's terrible, it's awful, it's horrific, you're not going to really get any sort of constructive feedback. So if you say like, hey, this is what I think you could improve, this is how I think the game could be better, there's a chance that the artist is going to go, well, you know what, this guy makes some really good points. I think I'll consider his suggestions and I'll try it out. But if you come in, you know, aggressive and kind of like, oh, this game's terrible, I don't like it, or this painting is terrible, I don't like it, it's very unlikely that the developer or the publisher are going to listen to you. That's just the truth of the situation. I totally understand, though. Everybody has a right to their opinion, and hey, you know, God bless you for it. I think, you know, if I was able to say anything I wanted on this stream, it would be a much dirtier stream. I'll say that. So we're going to go for pure rams here, especially since the stream is getting close to an end here. And I want to see how lucky we get. Now, the enemy ships seem much stronger than ours in this battle. Much thicker wooden plating, I guess. Well, you can't, there's no real such thing as wooden plating. But you guys know what I mean. Just thicker ships in general. Maybe a little less liable to sink as quickly. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, we might get some rams already. Come on, boys. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, they turned in the last second. No, I think we're just going to trap this guy, unfortunately. Yeah, we just trapped him. Maybe here we can get a ram? Or maybe they can get a ram on us. Oh, he had to turn at the last second. And that actually, strangely enough, worked out for us. Because otherwise, yep, they would have gotten more rams like that. And they did manage to get some pretty nice ones, I must say. That one right there. But in general, we're all just kind of stuck together, fighting a war of missiles, essentially. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I think that's probably a terrible move, but again, the only reason I'm making that move is because I know that this battle is ending soon. The last two battles, I was much more careful with the moves, and I agree with you, Audie. Audie says the synchronized turning looked awesome. I agree, man. I really do. Just going to keep my guys here for now, which is probably not a great idea because the enemy's going to get close enough to ram. And look at that. They managed to ram us here even though they hit the front of our ship. So there's definitely a few questions that need answering. Number one, I rarely manage to sink ships by hitting them in the front. We got to find out what's going on there, and I think in this case it's due to the size of and the weight of the ship. The one that really confused me was that that ship being knocked over in the last battle without being rammed. I want to find out how to do that. You know, is there a trick to it? And look at this. We're going to lose 3 ships easily here. Easily. 1. Oh, all at once. All at once. Yeah, I could have called that one. Now, this guy's fouled up, so he very well may go down with that ship. I don't think he should be counting his blessings quite yet. Okay, and yeah, as you can see, our actual loss percentage is much higher than usual. Anyway, guys, we are coming to that fateful moment in the stream where the stream is going to be ending here. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Definitely want to thank Turnopia for stopping by. Thank Muso for streaming, as always. Don't forget to vote on the straw poll to find out what game you guys want to see at the end of the week. I'm really curious to see which game is leading. I think Scourge of War is leading, but I could be wrong. It might be... my goodness, I just went blank there for a second. War in the East, that's right. I played so much War in the West recently that I practically forgot about War in the East. So very, very helpful there. No problem, Wavel. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Yes, you're absolutely right, Cable Nexus. You know, Command War of the Year edition. I can tell you that I believe, actually, Muso could probably confirm this. I believe before it was at, what, 100 or 120? Or maybe 80, something like that. It's now 24 euros. So if you ever wondered about the Command series, you need to pick it up now. We love you too, Audie. We love you too. All right, my friends, tomorrow we're going to be streaming the Operational Art of War 4 to 6. And this is going to be an amazing game. The Operational Art of War 4, basically any war, okay, from the early 20th century to present day is going to be in the game. Complete NATO counters all over the board. It's just going to be incredible. Pixel says, so Grippa, next week you get to play some Shimano, right? Nice try, Pixel. Nice try. We'll have to wait and see. I really would love to learn to play Command, and I think Shifting Sands is on my list of priorities this weekend to at least learn a bit about. But I want to make sure that if I do a Command stream, that I'm at least slightly proficient. You know, I don't need to be a pro, but that I can at least, you know, like move a plane here, bomb a location, get back to the airfield, etc. If I can do that, I will consider a Command stream. I promise you guys. And Warrior Donut is so excited about the Operation Art of War 4, and so am I. So am I. And hello, Schmolken. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.